Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and with the anniversary creeping up, I have something insanely inspirational I want to share with you. Have you thought about coming back to Marvel Future Fight or starting again as a new player, but you feel overwhelmed? You're like, oh man, 10-year-old game, there's so much to learn. Surely in a month before the anniversary, I couldn't build up a good account. What if I told you that it's not only possible, but we have living, breathing proof, as I live and breathe, the Wolverine. Except the Wolverine's name in this case is free-to-play Old and Gray. Huge shout out to free-to-play Old and Gray over on YouTube. Started up a brand new channel. Go and subscribe, guys. I'm subscribing right now in the video. They've dropped 5 days worth, I should say, of videos and live streams, and he has been documenting his journey as a free-to-play player from ground zero. So what I did was I watched this 1 hour and 45-minute live stream that he did, and I took notes because there's just so much good information here that either I have forgotten, I myself don't remember, I never experienced, or is just lost in my videos from months and years ago that you're not going to go back and watch, and I don't want you to. You can get it right here. This guy is so amazing. VIP 0, 31 days, guys. Let me show you. Right at 5 minutes and 40 seconds, we have the first piece of evidence here. Not evidence, but like proof for people wondering, like, this is a year-old account. He's just lying. No. New agent check-in. 30-day check-in. So this is a 30-day-old account. Brand new, free to play. So in 30 days, what was he able to achieve? Well, let's take a look, guys, because this is absolutely insane. He kicks off the live stream by going in and collecting dispatch. And what I want you to see here is he collects from 12 sectors. So in 30 days, he was able to climb to sector 12 with brand new free-to-play available cards. Not whaling, getting 20% pierce, or any of this crap. You know, these, certain mental blocks or certain things that people believe, oh, you need this for that, it's so hard to do, etc. It's not hard to do, baby. It's not hard to do. Look at this. If we go back here for a second, he's already at 39 on his combat score because he's been grinding this overnight every single day without energy. So you don't actually need anything. A brand new account can do this as long as you can farm one of these stages, even sector 10 or 9 or whatever. You farm it overnight, just infinite runs with clear tickets. You can farm up this XP, get these extra chests, and it also impacts how much you're getting from these passive rewards. So absolutely huge farming. Absolutely huge farming. Okay. The next thing I want to show you guys is he actually has, believe it or not, he has an Antonio moment. Here at 4 minutes and 20 seconds, he shouts out to the people carrying him in GBR. He shouts out.
Accent 12 and Antonio moments.
Antonio moment. Do you guys remember? He was having an Antonio moment. I was this is like serendipity. I don't know what you call this. Antonio moment appeared on the live stream years ago, and we had a blast laughing about having an Antonio moment. And it was just such a funny, organic thing. And now to see it happen like 4 or 5 years later on another live stream that I'm watching as a viewer, it's kind of like a full circle moment. And it's spooky in really the best way. So yeah, this gave me even more confidence to know that I was doing the exact right thing, covering this guy's free to play Old and Gray's content. So we're gonna fast forward ahead here. You can go. I highly recommend. I'll leave a link down below in the description. I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I'll leave a link down below to watch the whole thing. If you're a brand new player, watch this live stream, or go back and go back and watch his other live streams to get reacclimated with what you're gonna do. But he has everything. I know this is basically just one big glazing video, but this is also the blueprint. You're looking at the blueprint for any new players, but also for returning players. If you want to know what you need to do and in what order and what mistakes to miss, because free-to-play Old and Gray also covers what mistakes he made, and we'll cover that in the video. But he also says, I did this wrong. I didn't optimize this one. But on the other hand, he's optimizing so many things. He's min-maxing so many things. It really impresses me in a huge way, and it feels the way that, in some ways my channel used to be before we kind of went whale mode, where we were optimizing, and really min-maxing and squeezing the juice out of every last thing. And that's what he's doing. So yeah, here on the story mode, in the dimension rifts, he's jumping in, just so you guys have, again, frame of reference. He's able to clear difficulty 3 here He says he can clear up to difficulty 5 on auto with this team, which is basically just Dr. Voodoo lead with the buffs that he provides to then enhance Loki's all defense down and other debuffs. And I suspect that the combo of TVA the newest TVA Loki, I should say season 2 Loki, and Dr. Voodoo is probably also what climbed him through Dispatch, if I had to guess. Now, I think a lot of people are going to be scratching their heads like, Loki? Like, nobody recommends Loki. They recommend Hulk. They recommend Gwenpool. What is this Loki business? This is something that I'll leave up to free-to-play Old and Gray. I'm actually not sure. This is honestly something that I think is kind of beyond me now as a veteran whale, where I feel like I don't really understand the value of Loki for a brand new account nearly as much. Obviously, he has all defense down. Obviously, he has ignore dodge on his tier 3 buff. And I also know that he has the quirk with his 5th skill where he, if there's more enemies around, he creates more explosions. So that's obviously can be good for farming. And I suspect that that's what free-to-play Old and Gray was aiming for, is to have someone to climb through Dispatch, have someone to be able to do Dimension Rifts, have someone that can still get you through like World Boss Ultimate and early World Boss Legend. They can still, crawl through World Boss Legend. And then they can also then be transitioned into ABX ABL, right? Where we know that Loki obviously has a ton of value. So, I think that it's a smart move. It's not necessarily what I would have thought to be the first move, but it's an interesting first choice. And it's actually, spoiler alert, it ends up being his first tier 4. Yeah, at the end of this live stream, he tier 4s Loki. So 31 days and 30 days, excuse me, and you can tier 4 a character with a brand new account. This was absolutely electric. I was shocked that in 30 days you can tier 4 from a brand new account with no anniversary reward shenanigans, no Black Friday award shenanigans. He started this account a month ago during a complete dry spell for the game. No crazy, moonshot once a year kind of event to kickstart your account, which means you could probably do this even faster if you do it around the anniversary to collect the extra rewards you're getting for free, if you do it around Black Friday, etc. So yeah, I gotta say I'm so impressed. This is fantastic. Going back to the Rift briefly, because he only does one run on the Rift, but he actually goes back at around 7 minutes and 30 seconds. He goes back to the Rift to double check, because he only did one run. Remember, he goes back to check that this guy, Astros, finished the Rift, that his progress was going to finish. And this is really important, because if the progress doesn't finish, you don't get the completion bonus. And he was just going in there, he was just fishing for the completion bonus. So again, this is stuff that you got to keep track of when you're playing the game, and you have, like, if you want to min-max and you want to climb, you have to optimize these things. Look at this. At 11 minutes, he goes in and he farms. That's right, the emblem stages. I know players, there's a lot of you guys watching right now, you're going to be embarrassed. I know some of you goons who have year-old accounts, 2-3 years old, and you still haven't done this. You still haven't climbed through and done this for the free rewards. I'm not talking about buying Franklin. Screw that kid. Leave him in the dirt where he belongs. But what about the free? What about the free stage? And it's not 7-1. I see some of you goons. Sorry to call you goons, but I see some of you guys farming 7-1. Guys, just do the other Doom fights to get up to 7-5. These are free rewards, better rewards that you're just leaving on the table for absolutely no reason. And this is another sort of key cornerstone kind of message throughout this live stream that I saw, is like a lot of players, and especially new players, but a lot of players, they just leave rewards on the table. And if you're free to play, if you're low spending, you can't really do that and expect to get ahead. You can do that and play casually, sure, but then you can't really complain about your progress being stunted, because you're the one stunting your progress, not Netmarble, right? Clearly, if the guy can get a tier 4 in 30 days, what excuse do you have? There we go, right? So check this out. At 19 minutes and 30 seconds, he queues into Otherworld Battle. This blew my mind. Guys, how many of you don't even play Otherworld Battle? This is a month-old account collecting 145 Rune of the Unknowns, 14 swords, and 900 mementos for the week. That means he can farm almost 3,000 mementos a month, minimum, minus all of the daily rewards. So what does he do with those mementos? You guessed it. He goes into the shop and he buys Life Seed for his tier 4, because he's building up to tier 4. Guess what? It all adds up. If he didn't do this, there's no tier 4 Loki at the end of the road. So it's crazy. Later on in the video, in the live stream, he goes in and he actually plays World Boss Ultimate and World Boss Legend. And this was something that surprised me, but I'm clearly kind of out of it as far as the struggles of a new player. And essentially, the problem is you just don't have enough characters early on in the game's progress. Like, they give you for free as you log in, they give you free Transcended Moon Knight and Spider-Gwen, and they give you a free tier 3 Loki and Iron Man. But that's it. Everybody else you have to do yourself. So I'm guessing that in those 30 days, he tier 3'd Hulk himself, and he transcended Cersei. But you need what are essentially called fodder characters. You need tier 3s and transcendeds for fodder, and you just aren't able to generate enough of them in 30 days to do 5 World Boss Legend clears. So it's funny how it's kind of disjointed in a way. You can build up to a tier 4 faster at this point with the 40% discount for your first tier 4 than you can get 5 World Boss Legend clears. So what does he do? Well, he actually does two things, two really important things. One, he ignores Jean. Okay, he unlocked, of course, he unlocked Null, Mephisto, Gore, and Ultron right away by doing story mode 8-2 and beating Thanos 5 times. So he unlocked the first 4 legends. That's fine. And you can see he's got some of his, the Conqueror level has gone up, so he's obviously played them a little bit. But even though he has the challenges done to unlock Jean, he has not yet unlocked Jean. And the reason for that is simple. He's free to play. He can't control who his world boss of the day is. So if he keeps Jean from being unlocked, then there's a better odds that it'll land on one of the bosses that he actually wants to fight to get a higher chance at getting books. Because he needs more tier 3s, because he needs more fodder. So again, there's just these little tricks in here that are really important. And for the other, see, he has the things done, but he's choosing not to unlock them because he wants to make it easier for himself. And so the rest of the runs, he actually does Quicksilver. And the reason why he does Quicksilver, he's trying to unlock Quicksilver so he has him as a character to build up in the future if he needs him. But also because he gets the speed books. Now, again, this is something I found kind of interesting. I was like, why bother with these bosses? And on top of the mutant materials, in this case, although he does need black antimatter, he points out for Gwenpool, is that if you don't unlock them in the beginning, when are you going to unlock them? And that's a really good point. Even if, let's say, you spend a little bit of money at the beginning and you get your 5 world boss clears, like you get 15 tier 3s and transcendeds, right? Let's say you had a full roster. You start farming World Boss Legend from day 1, let's say, right, on an account that spends $50. Let's say it's your birthday, you get $50 Google Play gift card, you buy some stuff during the anniversary, and it gives you, like, whatever. You end up getting enough tier 3s and transcendeds that you can do 5 World Boss Legend clears, boom, right away, brand new account. Okay, so you start doing your World Boss Legend. That's great from a tier 4 perspective. Farming tier 4 materials, farming more black antimatter, more CCF, that's really good. But eventually, you're going to have to stop and go back if you ever want to build up Scarlet Witch for ABX-ABL, if you ever want to build up Cable for ABX-ABL World Boss, if you ever want to build up Quicksilver for PvP, if they ever make, Quicksilver Apocalypse good. And that goes for all the characters, right? The Black Order, Thanos, etc. I'm not saying you should go and unlock all of those characters if you don't have them. I'm just saying that for a new player, if you don't have the luxury of having all of these clears, then yeah, you should go through systematically and unlock those other world bosses as characters just at 1 star or whatever, 3 stars, whatever it unlocks at, just so that you have them, so that you never have to go back to that content later on for any reason when your account is much better and you can farm much higher end content. So again, really, really smart, very efficient, very optimized moves here by Free-to-Play Olden Grey. Really, I think captures the essence of like a top tier MFF player, not in the sense of like technical or in the sense of like having the best account, but making what I think is the purest form of an MFF player, optimizing top to bottom, min-maxing top to bottom, and road mapping top to bottom perfectly, and just threading the needle on exactly what you need to do to get ahead as fast as possible. I think that's always been what makes this game so like one of the reasons why this game is so fun, because there are so many little decisions and so many little choices that you can make. And when you branch off enough of those pathways, right, when you have enough of those branching questions, like left or right, whatever, after like 10, 20 of those decisions, you're going to come to 2 accounts that look vastly, drastically different. One of them is going to look not so good, and the other one's going to look goated with the sauce, as is what we're looking at right now. So I'm very, very impressed here. He ends up clearing with Hulk easily on stage 8, which I think is really nice for Hulk enjoyers. He claps it despite having type disadvantage. He claps it with time to spare on stage 8, and then he actually struggles with Loki. I felt really bad. He gets really, really close. It's a nail-biter finish here right at the end, but he isn't able to clutch it out, unfortunately. I think if he had just a little bit more time on the cooldown of the co-op skill, he would have had it. But again, this goes to show you, like, despite Loki being 80 to Hulk 72, and Loki having advantage over blast types versus Hulk having disadvantage, right? This shows you, like, I'm not saying Loki was a bad choice, but when people say Loki's bad for World Boss, this is what they're talking about. It's crazy, the gap between Loki and Hulk in this situation. I don't know their builds necessarily, so I could be wrong there if, like, you know, Loki doesn't have a rage and Thor and Hulk does, for example. But assuming they have similar or same builds, it's pretty shocking to see there. Later on, he goes and clears World Event, which I think is pretty funny. Then at 52 minutes, this one blew me away. He has enough tokens already. Okay, so he was diligent enough. He got the 300 tokens for finishing the battle pass. And then, guys, 30 days. So from day one, without missing a single day, he got the tokens, the P-card tokens, because it's 10 tokens a day from GBR. Look at this, 609 tokens. He got them all, boys. He got them all. He didn't miss a single day of Dormammu or whatever Galactus. He got carried. He carried whatever he needs. Listen, whatever it takes. This is the attitude. Whatever it takes. So he's getting the absolute maximum amount of P cards as fast as possible. Now, he does have another P card. Congratulations, by the way, on the pull for White Fox. I think that's super clutch. Sorry, a bit spoiler here. Now, he does already have another P card equipped when he goes to his set. He has the Ghost Rider card equipped that he's already crafted. I would love to hear from him on how he was able to do that fast. It was crazy. He actually goes in here and he crafts the card up as well. He also makes sure to mythic the right card so that it matches the missing cards for the collection, for the team up collection, or sorry, for the card collection. Again, super optimized here. But yeah, I would love to know. I think he has the Ghost Rider card already because of another login reward. I think along the way you get a login reward that gives you a P card selector, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how he got the Ghost Rider card, but I'm assuming that's what it is. He just doesn't say so in the live stream, and I just don't know because I'm not a new player. But yeah, look at his set. Every other card is basically perfect for free to play. So really nice stuff. Again, 30-day account, brand new free to play. It's crazy what you can do these days with that. It's pretty nutty. So very impressive here. And then look at his swords, guys. Look at his swords. This also blew me away. Again, for a 30-day-old account, he's already at Mastery 22 for his swords. That's an extra 25% all attack buff. Again, some of you goons, I gotta call you goons at this point, and I know you know it. Some of you goons have been playing for years, and you're like, I'll get to the cards later, and then your shit looks worse than his. Bro, if he can do it, what excuse do you have? He does say, and I admit as well, that there is an element of luck here. So he was able to craft the Scarab card. He got very lucky. It's a 5 out of 6. Yeah, I know, there's a bit of luck. So yours might not look as good as his, but there's no reason why you can't be at Mastery 20, right? Mastery 20 puts you at an average of 3.5, which is dead even for the average that you're going to get anyways. So that's actually assuming you have kind of bad luck. You can at least get to 20 by default within 30 days. So if you're not within 20 by 30 days, ask yourself, why am I skipping Otherworld Battle? Why am I skipping out on these free rewards for these free buffs to make my account stronger for free? Maybe I want to play the game on Dark Souls mode. Who knows? Clearly, free-to-play Olden Grade does not want to do that, and that's why he's absolutely killing it. I was shocked. Later on in the video, he has some really important conversation about his progress and how he kind of made a mistake by focusing and building up Gwenpool and Spider-Man at the same time, but being bottlenecked by not only materials, but obviously speed books with the two of them. And he basically reflects on the fact that he should have just chosen to either go hard on Gwenpool and Hela or Spider-Man and Venom. And I think he comes up with a solution that would be the kind of the best of both worlds and kind of bridge the gap. But again, it speaks to the fact that, you know, everyone tells you to get your DPSs, like get your Hulk tier 3, get your Thor, get your whatever, your Gwenpool, sure. The DPSs are important. You need 5 DPSs. And then they're like, oh, guys, get the supports. Get the Shuri, get the Coulson, get the Sif, whatever, Taskmaster. Sure. Okay, yeah, getting supports is important too. That's helpful. But you need fodder. You need fodder. And it turns out when you're new and you have a little bit of Pierce from the Doctor Strange cards and whatever, you actually don't need supports to clear stage 1 of these world bosses. Like, it's easy enough now that you can just blow through them with a level 72. You can just blow up Null with a level 70, 72 with a little bit of Pierce from the free cards on a completely free-to-play account. So you don't need to go in with a leadership and a DPS and a support on stage 1 of Null. You can just go in with a DPS and 2 clowns, 2 filler, right? And again, the clowns in this case, Spider-Gwen, Moon Knight, Cersei, they're not doing anything. They're not adding anything to the team. They're just there to fill the requirements. So you will need to fill the requirements. And so choosing a quote-unquote bad character from, let's say, like the second guided quest is not so bad, because you do need the filler. So pay attention to those requirements, because with the guided quests, they will give you the books for free, but you have to build up the gears, which ties up your black antimatter and your gold. So make sure that you're not burning those resources building a native tier 2 or building somebody else, because then those books are on hold and you're not going to be able to use them, and you're not going to be able to tap into that value for an extra character for maybe an extra run of World Boss Legend or what have you. So really, really clutch, important information here. I would go, even if you're not a new player, I would go and listen to this around 1 hour, 8 minutes. Really important stuff here where he reflects on his decisions and he kind of like road maps things for himself. Really, really nice stuff here. You love to see it. Very, very high level thinking about, you know, planning out his account for the next week, 2 weeks, month, etc. He goes into dimension missions here, but then he goes back and he collects dispatch again. Look at this. Just min-maxing. Gets a couple lucky crits on the energy, but again, every little bit matters. It's actually crazy. And then, this is probably one of the nuttiest reveals here. Shadowland. He's gotten up to, he's doing the Kingo quest. Do all the epic quests, guys. Start all the epic quests. But he goes over to Shadowland. Look at this. He's already cleared up to stage 40 in 30 days. Yeah. This is dedication. Like, this is crazy work here. Again, this is the benchmark. If you want to know what should I be able to do with my account after 30 days, well, you should be able to get at least to 35, because free-to-play Older Gray's getting to 40, baby. You know, and he's not getting any handouts or any BS. So if you start around the anniversary, these are the goals that you can look forward to hitting with ease, because at the anniversary you get tons of extra rewards. Free to play, tier 3 selector, transcendent selector, a free P card. They just shower us with rewards, and hopefully they'll shower us with even more rewards this year because of the 10-year anniversary. Then he talks about the legendary battle, and he highlights the fact that the Shang-Chi legendary battle is actually the best one for new players to focus on, because what you can do is you can farm the chests and they drop KD bios for free, or you can get KD bios from Shadowland selectors, whatever. And then if you build your KD to tier 2, you lock in the mythic chest, and you can farm the mythic chest 5 times a day and crack it open 5 times a day, hoping for the the crit reward. Now in this case, he doesn't get the crit reward, but it's still, right, still some Uru, some gold, some dimension debris every single day, 5 times a day. And then when it crits, this turns into 500,000 gold. That's not bad, baby. Critting for 500,000 gold with like a 5% chance or whatever, not bad at all. Again, don't leave free rewards on the table when you're free to play. Collect them, and it will snowball over time. He then goes into story mode, where he's farming not only normal but also ultimate story mode, and he's cracking open the chests. The chests for normal story mode, I never realized how good they are for new players. I highly recommend it if you're struggling, because the rewards are not bad if you can, you know, spare the energy. You get some pretty nice rewards, and you know, it's much easier than story mode ultimate. So in this case, he cracks open 1 chest and he gets 600,000 gold. Yeah. So again, pretty amazing stuff there. And then he uses his the tickets. It's pretty funny. He's kind of ranting a little bit about the type enhancement tickets, because they take up inventory slots, and when you're free to play and you know you don't have a lot of inventory, so he actually burns them. He uses them up on characters. In this case, he uses them on Gwenpool and somebody else, but he uses them up because they can go to use now, but more importantly, they're not going to stuff up your inventory with a bunch of useless with something that's not going to do anything. Last thing I want to touch on here, he goes through like an extended ecstatic thing about zombie survival, and he has a really important moment where, like, he not only highlights how good the rewards are for zombie survival and how easy it is, but he highlights something that's so important. So rather than summarize what he's saying,
So yeah, to get, and like, I think sometimes people hesitate on game modes because they think they're for like, oh, you know, that's for someone else. Like, you don't unlock this until you do some stuff. I don't recall the requirements, but there are requirements.
Yep.
Bro, get up in there, man. It's like Alliance Conquest, dude. It doesn't matter if you suck, just throw some characters in there. If the guild gets mad at you, your guild's a bunch of bums, dude. Like,
just get in there. Stop thinking that you can't play the game mode because it's for whales, because it's for veterans, because it's for intermediate players. Play as many game modes as you can, collect as many rewards as you can, because it all adds up. He's doing zombie survival on a 30-day account, and he's collecting juicy rewards. So yeah, I just wanted to give this as a you know, not only a roadmap and an inspiration, but just as a new kind of benchmark for what is possible in Marvel Future Fight, because I think over time we forget and we don't realize how fast players can climb, and we think the game is so difficult and so hard. And don't get me wrong, the game is hard. Free-to-play Olden Gray puts in a lot of work. He's played the game before. He has other accounts, so it's not like he's completely new to the game knowledge-wise. He has a huge base of knowledge. He studied the game before, sure. But at the same time, if he can do it and he's gracious enough to leave this roadmap out for everybody to watch for free, you can do it too. And you've got all the notes here. You got all the information. So hit it up. Hit up his channel. Subscribe, guys. And you know, kick off your account in time for the anniversary, and then you'll be laughing because your account, you know, progress from the anniversary onward is just going to explode. It's going to be 2, 3, 4x speed. So that's what I wanted to do today for you guys. I wanted to cover that, kind of like a reintroduction of the game for new players and motivation for new and returning players. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Big shout out to Fear Play Olden Gray. Fantastic channel. Thank you, brother, for doing that for the community. It's hugely appreciated. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.